I'm Warren Davis, and you're watching the Evercade Effect.
Evercade Effect.
You got me up guard there. This is Ed on the Evercade Effect. We're going to talk about Piko 4 collection today and ask the question, is it really that bad? So let me explain real quick how this works. So I went ahead, a couple weeks ago, did my Piko Interactive 4 first impressions. So if you haven't watched that video, you're definitely going to want to do so. I'm going to go ahead and put a card up here in the description below. Go ahead and watch that because I go through and I play, what do we have, like 10 games on this collection. I go ahead and play them. And then afterwards, I like to, play the cart, stream it, on my channel, for a couple weeks there, really get a feel, play more games, and see if I still feel the same way about the collection that I did my initial video. And that's what we're going to go ahead and do. We're going to go ahead and dive. We're going to go ahead and dive into that and talk about it. So yeah, let me go ahead and bring this up here. And let's kind of go through and talk about the games. I'll show you the times and all that I went through and played them. So yeah, we do have 10 games. And I really honestly feel like with Piko, it is hit or miss. And we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about the games that I really like, and I'm gonna talk about the games that I really don't like. And then you can come to your own conclusions and see if this collection is right for you. Full disclosure, I do go ahead and I buy every collection that comes out because I honestly find some value in every collection. However, you can decide if this is a pass or buy based upon what I'm going to talk about here today. So Bad Street Brawler, let's talk about this game. This game is really weird. Definitely a Piko game. And that you're like that dude up there that looks like a Duke Jr. And you have 3 buttons to attack. Your B and your A, and you press them both at the same time, and it's different per level. And then my channel members, I believe it was Gene Joke was telling me you can just go ahead and run to the end of the level, otherwise you'll run out of time. And before I get more into it, let's look at the stats here. So I played this about 25 minutes, 5 different times, and I only saved once because I used up all my lives when I was streaming this, and I got to the 3rd level, and I wanted to make sure to do a save at the beginning, because then once you die, you go all the way back to the beginning here. So this particular game, it's very repetitive. They reuse sprites, and I had fun going through the first 3 levels. Like I was actually able to kind of like breeze my way through it. And sometimes it's just kind of fun when you can do that. And then the 3rd level, I got really, really frustrated because either I would run out of time or the bomb would explode and get me. Like there were these bombs that get dropped from certain enemies, and you got to make sure to run all the way off to the side of the screen or else you just die. And the boss itself is just really cheap, and I didn't have enough life, didn't get enough life refilled. So, I mean, this is the type of game that, like, I did have fun on stream, but it's not a reason to buy this card at all. So for me, this game is just I'll give it a C+ and be generous. It's not a B- at all. It's not an F or anything. I'll give it a C-. Not bad, but it's not really the reason at all to go ahead and buy the card. So let's go ahead. Let's move on to Glover, and let's talk about a few things of Glover. And first, I do want to show my stats. So you can see this game. I've only played out 25 minutes. I played it 2 different times, and we'll kind of talk about why and how I feel about this game and the good, the bad, the ugly. So first off, I just have to say this is the first N64 game that we have got on the Evercade, which I think is truly amazing, and it's freaking fantastic. It was built from the source code, it was customized, and now with the recent source projects that have come out, we may see more 64 games possibly ported over, to the Evercade, because you can play this on the Pocket, you can play it on the OG. Yes, it all works and all that. So that's the great thing that I like about this. It's the first game. It's the first milestone to show, hey, the Evercade can run N64. And it's not a high-end device. It's just, the game has to be optimized. And that's how it is with a lot of like N64 games. Don't really require necessarily super high-end devices. They just have to be optimized and, and all that. So let's talk about the good. So I did this was my first experience playing this game. It was cool in a 3D world. And the beginning for the tutorial, which I'm still in, and I'll get to that in a moment. That's for the 25 minutes. They replaced the initial tutorial giver thing with Katie's, which is awesome. Which Katie is Evercade's mascot. It really added a personalized touch. You know, when they do that type of thing, and then like when the game starts and you see the logos and all that, you know, it has like blaze, and so they really customize it. Now, I will say that from loading the game, and you can see this in my first look video of this, I counted to 20 Mississippis, like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. It took 20 seconds to load in, and then if you load it from a save state, 2 extra seconds doesn't save you much time. So it appears to take longer to load than a PS1 game. So for me, the discovery is fun, but here's the thing: I'm not a huge fan of 3D platformers. I didn't like 40 Winks. I just can't get into Mario 64 with the controls and the camera. And while they did do a good job, like the game plays well with just using a D-pad, it really begs for an analog stick. Like that'll even enhance it. With Glover in particular, for me, it's kind of frustrating that just to go ahead and control, to control that little ball that's there, it's kind of weird, right? Like you can't really like jump with it. You can throw it, you can hop with it. It's, and just to toss it, maybe an analog stick would help improve that. But it's just like kind of my thing, which is a lot of like N64 games in general. I feel like they use too many buttons to do too much, and they try to do way too much, and they try to very overcomplicate it. Like when Nintendo, had this, it seems like they gave incentive to the developers, and the developers are just like, hey, this is a new 3D system. We're going to really make we're going to make super use of it and use of all the functions to really like 3D this up, and try to really take advantage of it just because, just to take advantage of the 3D just because, but not because it's naturally with the flow of the game as what I think kind of makes us weak. Otherwise, the emulation quality is great. Music is great. Don't really hear anything off. But for me, I think it's just a C+. Just because I want to get into a game, I want to be able to play it. I don't want all these weird, like wonky controls. And that's not the Evercade's fault. Blaze did make a note on their blog post that we will be getting analog support sometime in the future. So I'll definitely test it again, see if that makes it any better. But I'm just not a fan of 3D platformers, just in general. But I think this is a good conversion. It's not bad. I'll give it a C+ for me. It's not the worst game. It's not the best game. It's a little bit above average. I mean, I did have some. Will I go back to and play it? Maybe. I don't know. I think I will. Maybe more of on stream just to try it. But it's just, I really feel like I have to work to play this game. I really have to work with the controls. It's just, it's just not as fun as a platformer should be. All right. So then we have Mermaids of Atlantis. So this game, yeah. I really wish what they would have done. I really wish they would have taken this game and just made a clone of Tetris and just had bubbles. Just made a clone of Tetris, but no, they didn't do that. And I've only played 6 minutes. I think I played it once in my initial impressions, and I played it again live on stream. And just to kind of show you this, there's really nothing special about this game. This game is it's just like very mid, right? Let's see if we can get in here. So see like how like the bubbles are in this like really weird pattern, and see like when I move them around, it's just, yeah, I really wanted this to be a Tetris clone, have all the clones of the blocks, don't worry about matching up the colors. You get the idea. It would have been so much better, but no, there's nothing special about this game. I really don't see the urge to play it. Maybe if you have the card in there. Yeah, for me, this game is a D+, to be honest. It's just, it's not really that great. It's, it's a poor attempt at trying to do a Tetris type thing. I really wish they just would have been a Tetris clone. This would have been like a B+ or an A. If it was just a Tetris clone played the same, that would be the closest thing that we would get. So let's move on to the next. Oh God, this game. So this game, I really, 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 really wanted to like. I had to have help from the chat to even figure out how to play the damn thing, and we'll talk about it. How much time have I have on this? So 5 different times and 22 minutes, and that's a lot of save states. I really tried to like this. I really wanted to play more of this game, but my God, it is just so frustrating. So first, I think you only get 2 continues, and the problem is that you'll come across items that you have to pick up and get, but the item might randomly kill you. It might give you a buff. It might just be score, but you don't know. So you're constantly you need to save state before that. Otherwise, it can be really, really frustrating. Now, you do need to pick up these wheels, and sometimes the items, like when I played it, they landed right on the wheel, and I was forced to pick it up and I'd lose a life. And just the play control is frustrating. The way the enemies come at you is frustrating. It's just it's a bad game design, but with the graphics and everything, you really want to like it. And then you get to a point where not really a boss, but you'll see this thing that you have to like press. There's a special button you press for it. You throw the wheel in there, and then I was like, okay, I could move the buttons around. They would make the arrows blink around the wheel. I had no idea what I was doing. Luckily, I think it was Gene Joke again, who came to the rescue and told me like, oh, it's Simon Says. So then you press one button and you see it do like dee 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 dee, and then you copy it. And once you know that, then you're done, and it's super stupid easy. Oh, and as you're going along, you also have to remember to break open these statues. And it's just a really bad designed game. I don't like it. It's frustrating. This one I'm giving a D minus. It's not quite an F, but because it's so frustrating, I don't have the desire. It's more frustrating than Ghouls and Ghosts. At least Ghouls and Ghosts is fun. It's difficult, but this game is like a really, really, really bad version of Ghouls and Ghosts with some of their shits and giggles thrown in just to make it harder because they can. So yeah, I don't. That's why, it's not quite an F. I'll give it a D plus, and I'm being generous. So Skulljagger, this game, okay. This was a game that initially when I played it, it was probably going to be like a D plus. All right, I didn't know really what the hell you were supposed to do. Like you get like green gems, which give you more life, and you get red gems, which make you like shoot out, like you shoot them out from your sword. And then you have bubble gum that does other things. So like that feels really forced, but like what I've come to find out about the game is that you need the bubble gum for bosses. Like they turn you into like these weird different things so you can attack. They turn you into these like orb type things, and you have to position yourself to kill the bosses. And that's one of the real challenging things is knowing where to position yourself to use your bubble gum and where you can't be hit. It's really weird. But let's look at the stats. So yeah, I played this for nearly 2 hours. Look at the save states. Yeah, I played this a lot on stream with the guidance of the chat. They do reuse a lot of assets, so that's kind of the problem. It does kind of get boring and repetitive after a while. But there's something about it that I like the graphic style, and it's fun. It's just one of those games that I don't know, like because it's kind of bad and mediocre makes it really good. I really can't explain it. Like, this isn't a reason to buy the cart. I'm not sure any of these games on here are a reason just to go out and buy the cart, but it really does strengthen the cart itself. And I did have a lot of fun. This game I'd give a B plus. Not quite an A because of the quirkiness and all that, and the repetitiveness of assets, and then you get frustrated with the bosses. But yeah, I was surprised how this game really grew on me. So this is one of those ones that initially I thought was a horrible game that really grew on me. And I definitely will go back and complete. Like I want to complete it. Want to complete the weirdness of it. So you can see here so far out of 5 games, at least this one makes it worth it on the cart. This one does make it worth it. And again, there's like, unlike Sunsoft 2, I wouldn't say, oh, just buy a game, just buy the cart for this particular game. And we'll kind of get to that when at the end here. But let's talk about Star X, or wannabe Star Fox. So let's see how long that I played this. 12 minutes twice. Okay. So this game, there's nothing really special about it. It wants to be Star Fox. It's like a really bad version of Star Fox, in my opinion. It's not really that good. It's not that horrible. It was just not as much fun and repetitive. As a matter of fact, I wanted to kind of just play it on stream because it was just, maybe a fun thing to do, but I don't really have a desire to go back and play it. I would also give, it may be a little bit harsh, but I would also give this game a D plus, just because for its time, while it's a technological achievement, it's just really boring. Like you kind of go through some hoops, you shoot some things, and you kind of have to lock on, and it's weird. It's not fun. It's really not fun. At least they have the controls right when you go, down is up and up is down because you're flying in this thing. But it's like the poor man's version of Star Fox. And yeah. Okay, so this game, oh my god. I actually have to show you. Let me see if I have a save state. I actually have to show you. Maybe I don't. Okay. I haven't played this game too much, but I will tell you why this game is horrible and why I hate it. So it builds it up to be some like really cutesy, gives you a false sense of security. Like, oh, there's gonna be some like cutesy, like Super Mario Kart. But no, it's not. I just pick anything. I don't care. And I will, race, whatever. I will show you. And so, yeah, you've got all these like weird, all these like weird characters. Let me just pick some people at random. Do I press start? Should be able just to get in there. I don't know why. Okay, so you will see why in a second. For some reason I maybe thought it was head-to-head or actually to 2 players. Fine, whatever. So again, you think you think it's going to be cool, and I went there and showed everyone on stream. So I don't know if you can see it yet. Look at this. There are no wall. Like, this is so flat, and it doesn't give you the sense of a race course. This is textured so bad. It's not like a traditional racer where you can really see walls and you can see texture. It's almost like the camera angle on this is just really bad, really low to the ground. Like, even just to see your item pickups and everything, it's a horrible design. I mean, yeah, look at that cool thing in the distance, but the way it's laid out, I can't play a racing game like this. It's like they just need to go back, fix and adjust the camera. It's horrible. It's horrible, and I hate it, quite frankly. This game gets an F-. It's the worst game on the cart, possibly, mainly because setting me up thinking this is going to be a fantastic game when it really blows. And yeah, only 6 minutes. And the third time being now, I could hardly stand to play it because they ruined it. That's so bad. They completely ruined it for me. I have no reason to ever go back and play this. Probably almost any other racing game you've ever played is better than this, because at least the camera will be at the proper height, and you'll actually feel like you're racing instead of some flat crap piece of texture. All right. So Renegade. Yeah. I don't think I played this one that long. You can just tell by the sun. Yeah, I've only played this 11 minutes. So this is just like if you took a really bad version of Double Dragon and just like we're like, hey, let's just throw some crap together. This is maybe the worst beat 'em up that I've ever played. So you can just tell like the character looks off. So this, like, you have to press up and jump at the same time. Yeah. I didn't know that the first time when I played it. And it's just like, oh my God. This is just, the controls are a little stiff. They reuse the assets. I mean, this game is just, yeah, it's very mid and it's not fun. Like, I don't have any, like, the Technos collection is like so many better beat 'em ups or anything else. This, you know, and I think initially, if I remember in the book, this was like maybe like licensed from Technos, like some other company made. This also gets an this gets an F. Now I won't give it an F-, but this game, it's just bad. I don't like it. It's not fun. No reason to like it. There's like any other like beat 'em up on the Evercade, you want to go ahead and play it. And then we have the Fidgets, and again another game I'm not too fond of. And I've only played it once for 4 minutes. I could barely stand it. So just to show you, I love like the graphics and everything. Like, it makes you really feel like this is some cool like Game Boy game. But you have to control this guy and you switch over to that guy, and you have to kind of fumble through these levels. And I thought it was going to be a fun like puzzle platformer, but the controls are bad. The concept is bad. It's just boring. I really dislike this game. I really wanted to like this game. I really did, but it's just not fun. The controls are not good. It's just they don't even like it's not like, you know, like pre Princess for some Sunsoft 2 collection where you feel like it's a well-designed puzzle game. No. This is just bad. I'm sorry. It is just bad. This also gets like an F-. I have no desire to go back and play this game again. Really. So far, if you're looking at it, no game really makes it worth it. But there is some fun to be had. Like, I did have fun with Skulljagger and Zero Tolerance. So this is the sequel to the Zero Tolerance on the other Piko collection. And it's actually good and it's solid. It's nothing new, nothing exciting. So I really haven't had a reason to go through and play it much. If you look at my stats here, you'll see I've only played it 4 minutes and only twice. It's a good game, but it's not. Here's the thing. It didn't draw me in. Oh yeah, I forgot to switch over to the camera for you to see. So Zero Tolerance. Let me repeat that again. My apologies. Yeah, 4 minutes. Yeah, you get the idea. But you get to be a similar set of characters like the first one. It really feels a lot like the first game. Like, I think this was unreleased. But there was nothing to really draw me into it, like Duke Advance. Like, despite it like being like really, really super blocky, kind of added to its charm. It actually kind of feels almost like you're playing it like on a Lynx, which is cool. Like, and that was designed well, great control. Like, and the character Duke drew me in. Again, this isn't a horrible game, but just like the first one, you don't get the full screen. You really don't. So for maybe it's like a B+. It's not horrible. It's not super great. If we go back and take a look at this again, kind of into my final thoughts. So you would say two good for Piko, 2 playable games, maybe 2 good games. Everything else was fun to experience, but you know, it's so is this cart? So that kind of goes back to my initial question: is this cart really that bad? Well, yes and no. It depends what you're looking for. Did I have fun playing? Playing this cart? Yes. Did I enjoy myself? Yes. Skulljagger, actually, I really liked that a lot. Of all, but the other games just really felt like a chore to play. If I'm totally being honest, it wasn't like Sunsoft 2 where I was having fun and I felt, I really felt the buffet gamer style where I was having fun jumping around, playing all the different games, just really, really enjoying myself and having a good time. This one really feels like, I had to force myself. And a matter of fact, if I didn't have a YouTube channel and I wasn't streaming, I wouldn't have as much desire to go back and play it. And now, quite frankly, that this video is done, maybe I'm a little bit relieved. Like, I do want to beat Skulljagger on stream, but other than that, if I didn't go back and play any of the other games, they're just forgettable. I just don't have a reason to go ahead and do that. So yeah, I definitely would say, I know at the beginning of the video to make your own conclusions, but now that I talk about this more, if you're not going for a full set, you can pass on this one, definitely. For the 2 carts that did come out, Sunsoft 2 is by far the one to get. This one, you can pass on it. I don't think it's worth it to get just to experience this collection, if I'm being honest. Unless you're the type of person like myself who just loves Discovery. If you don't care about Discovery, avoid this collection. If you like Discovery, then it might be for you. I did have some fun. I mean, it's not as bad as the Gremlin collection by any means. And like I said, with all the Evercade collections, was it worth it for me personally to get for the $20? Yes, I did have fun, and it's something to go on the shelf to complete my Evercade collection. But that's about it. So yeah, if you did make it this far in the video, if you want to put something in the comments below to let me show your love and appreciation that you watched the whole video, put Skull Mermaid Brawler Glover. Skull Mermaid Brawler Glover. Put that in the comments below. That lets me know that you watched the whole video and all awesomeness. If you did just stumble through the YouTube verse and you like this type of content, please consider subscribing. I stream a couple times a week. I do a weekly